gonna start this video with some Norwegian black metal. This is In the Nightside Eclipse by Emperor. It was released in '94 through Candlelight Records. And Emperor is one of the household names from the black metal scene in Norway in the 90s. But to be honest, I always prefer the more simplistic approach of Darkthrone to Emperor. But started to dig this more in recent times. In the Nightside Eclipse is their debut, and Emperor, everyone probably are already familiar with the band, but it's some symphonic black metal, and that there are a lot of stuff going on all the time. There's almost always a wall of sound with synths and stuff, but it's always the guitars that are the center of attention. And the vocals sound a bit like Danny Filth from Cradle of Filth, and is very deep in the mix. And this has 8 tracks plus an intro. It's almost 50 minutes long. My favorite tracks are Cosmic Keys to My Creations and Times and The Majesty of the Night Sky. And my version is a 2018 Candlelight Records repress. Supposedly it's from the same source as the original vinyl pressing from '94. It's a gatefold. You get printed inner sleeve with lyrics, and the record is on solid blue vinyl. And Candlelight seems to only have the picture disc available at the moment, but the second hand for the new presses are not that expensive. You can pick it up. Here's a snippet. This is Antons to the Welkin at Dusk, Emperor's sophomore release. It was released in '97 on Candlelight Records, and is the follow-up to In the Nightside Eclipse. And the production this time is much cleaner, and the mixing is much better. Everything sounds better than on the debut. There are a lot of people who think it's too polished, but I don't agree with that. From a musical perspective, I think this has better highlights than the debut, but the last few tracks are not on par, so I don't know which one I prefer, to be honest. This contains 7 tracks plus an outro. It's 44 minutes long, so it's a bit shorter than the debut. And Ye Entrance Imperium has always been a favorite of mine. The drumming is insane, but when listening to the record now, I think Ensorcelled by Chaos, The Loss and Curse of Reverence, and The Acclamation of Bonds is very good too. Unfortunately, the quality drops after this trio, and they could have skipped maybe the last 3-4 tracks. Maybe not with Strength I Burn, but anyway, my version of the record is a 2017 Candlelight Records repress. You get printed inner sleeve with lyrics, and the record is on green vinyl. And the center labels are wrong. A is actually B and the other way around. And this seems to be sold out, but later reissues does not have to cost that much on this one either. Here's a snippet. This is Netherstorm by Vargrav. It was released in 2018 through Werewolf Records. It's a one-man band from Finland, and Netherstorm is the band's debut. It's very symphonic black metal, probably very inspired by the aforementioned Emperor. It contains 6 tracks. It's 43 minutes long. All tracks are good, but there's no one that really sticks out. My version is a 2018 repress. It contains The Glory of Eternal Night 7" as bonus with an Emperor cover on it. And I'm pretty sure it came with some kind of lyric insert, but I have somehow managed to lose it. And the record is on standard black vinyl. And Record Shop X, a Finnish distro, still has copies left. I'll leave a link in the description. Here's a snippet. This is Rain in Supreme Darkness by Vargrav. It was released this year through Werewolf Records, and it's not that different from the debut. Both are equally good in my opinion. Maybe this has slightly better production, but on this one there are some strange effects on the vocals in some parts that sounds not good. It's 7 tracks plus an intro. It's 42 minutes long, almost identical to the debut, and as on the debut, all tracks are very good, but there are no tracks that sticks out from the bunch. It's a gatefold. You have the lyrics on the inside. The record is on blue transparent vinyl, and I think Record Shop X still has copies left of this one too. Here's a snippet. This is Reign of the Odious. It's by a band called Mahu. It was released in January this year through Iron Bonehead, and the band is from Nyköping, Sweden. And the band's first release was an EP in 2018, and this is their full-length debut. And the band consists of Svarte Daugthus on guitar and bass, famous from Beket Nexmo and a bunch of other bands, and Likpredikaren on vocals, and on this release Kevin Paradis from Benighted and Svart Crown among others play the drums and does a magnificent job. And the band is a death black metal band and signed to Iron Bonehead, but it's not what I thought it would sound like. The production is much cleaner than usual without being polished, and the songs are quite lengthy, but they are catchy and there are a lot of things going on. It's 7 tracks, it's 43 minutes long, and all tracks are very good. It's hard to pick a favorite. And it's a gatefold with lyrics on the inside. And I got the standard black version. And I think Iron Bonehead still has copies left. Here's a snippet. Time for some tapes. This is Into the Wild by Voodoo's. It was released late last year through Shadow Records, and the band is from Kungälv, Sweden. Was formerly known as Jormungand, but changed names and styles in 2015. And as Voodoo's, they have released 2 EPs, and this is their debut full-length. They play melodic black metal in the vein of Dissection. It's not as good, of course, but if you like Dissection, you might like this. It's 8 tracks, including an intro and a piano interlude in the middle. It's 1 hour long. And all tracks are well written, but it seems that all songs have some kind of atmospheric, silent, acoustic part in the middle. It gets a little predictable. My favorite tracks are Gnothi Seaton, and the closing track, The Terrain of Moloch. And I got the tape version, but it's also available on CD and vinyl. And the insert comes with a lyric sheet, and the tape is black. And the Shadow Records still has copies left. Here's a snippet. This is The Spear Wound Salvation by Ultra Sylvan. It was released March 22nd this year through Shadow Records, and the band is from Malmö, Sweden, and they released a demo in 2017, but this is their first full length, and they play lo-fi but very catchy black metal with occasional Middle Eastern sounding melodies. And if you have heard the Swedish band Sorin, it's in the same vein, but in my opinion this is much better. This contains 7 tracks, it's 28 minutes long, and all tracks are very good, but my favorites are Desolens Uppenbarelse and A Skull Full of Stars. And I got the tape version. It's available on CD and vinyl also. It's on black tape. And the J card looks like this. Very simple, no lyrics. And Shattered Records still has copies left of all versions, I believe. Here's a snippet. The last record or album I'm going to show is Atmospheres of Desolation by Noctambulist. It was released January 21st this year through Blood Harvest. And the band is from Denver, Colorado, and was formed in 2016, and prior to this they had released a single digital track only. The band plays the same type of suffocating death metal as Ulcerate, but in my opinion this is more straight to the point and better than anything Ulcerate has put out. It's 6 tracks and it's about 27 minutes long, which is perfect length for this kind of music in my opinion. And all 6 tracks are good, but my favorite is probably the title track, Atmospheres of Desolation. I got the tape version, but it's also available on CD and vinyl. And the J card has the track list and credits and nothing else. The tape is transparent, and the Blood Harvest and Shadow Records still has copies left. Here's a snippet. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.